So today we are going to learn in this tutorial the tar command. Tar command is basically used to create, maintain, modify and extract the files which are archived in tar format. Tar format is basically the archive format or zip format. So here are the three main purposes of tar command is one is creating, second is maintaining and third is modifying. These three types of tasks we can easily do with this command. So now we will see that how we can use this tar command. First of all, we have to check this command out. Type tar, simply type tar in the command line and then press -C. C is for creating and then V is for verbose and F is for naming the file or assigning the name of the file of archive file. So simply you have to type these three things tar -cvf and then the file name. So let's do it. First of all, you have to change your terminal to desktop. I am changing by cd change directory to the desktop, and then here in my desktop I have a folder named nemos, and here I have four further folders. So I want this folder to be an archive file. For this I will use the tar command. Tar, first of all I have to type the tar, then -cvf, and then I am going to name this archive file test.tr, and the file which I want to be archived is nemos. So here you can see an archive file or a zip file of test.tar is created on my desktop, and here in the here below I can see all the progress that how these files are archiving in this test.tar archived file. So now for that's how we will compress the file or we will make the archive file. So now for extracting this archive file, simply or for uncompressing this archive file we will use -x. For creating we will use -c, and for extracting we will use -x. Tar -x, then v and f. V is for verbose. Verbose will show us all the progress of the archiving file, that how this file is being archived, all the progress will be shown in our terminal. So here first of all I will delete the folder nemo was already present at my desktop, so that when this archive file is uncompressed or unarchived, so the folder of named nemos will be created. Here you can see the nemos folder is created, and all the progress is present at the terminal. So that's how you will use tar command for compressing or archiving or unarchiving the file. Now for creating a gzip file, we will use the same command but with a little bit of change. Like -cz will create a gzip file or a gzip format of a file. So for that we will use this flag -c and z. This will create a gzip file. This is actually another file format which we use for creating a zip file, which mostly we use this format in order to create a zip file. Like I am creating a gzip file of a folder named images which is present at my desktop. You can see I will just simply type c tar -czvf and then the name of the tar file or gzip file and then the name of the folder which I want to be zipped. So here I can see the progress along with also. Here you can see the folder images, and inside it the folder of pics I have. So in this way we can easily compress or make the zip files of a folder, or similarly we can uncompress the files and the folders by using tar command. JZ format, which is known as a tar JZ, tar.jz, is another format of compressing a file or making the zip file. So for this purpose, we will also use some flags. And similarly, if we want to unzip this folder or uncompress this folder, we will use minus xz for creating, minus c. C stands for creating and x stands for extracting. So for creating a zip file, we will use minus c flag, and for extracting a zip file, we will use minus xz vf. V stands for verbose, f stands for name of the file, assigning a name of the file. And here we will add an extension of .jz in order to create a JZ format zip file. Like if I want to create the JZ file for this folder Kimex, which is present at already at my desktop. So first of all, I have to create a zip file of this folder. Like here you can see test.tar.gz is for Kimex folder. It's up to you. You can compress different files with different names. It's totally up to you, it's your own choice. So similarly, if we type mantar, it's a complete manual which we can study. We can see all the flags are here with along with their description. So where we can use these flags, it's totally scenario based. So q will be for quitting this we will press q for in order to quit this manual. So you can see different flags, minus k. According to the requirement, you can use these flags. Now we will clear the terminal, and now the other command is grep file. Grep command. Grep command is basically used. Grep is stands for globally search for regular expression and print. GREP, globally search for regular expression and print. So why this command is basically used? Uh, the purpose of this command is basically it processes text line, right? It processes the text line by line and print any line which matches the specified pattern. Like if you want to search a pattern of text, or if you want to search a number of lines from a file, so you can use this command. This command is basically totally searching command. If you want to search the uh, specific words from a file, if you want to see that are these lines or are these text really exist in a text file, you can use this command. Grep command is the best command for this purpose. So this command is used to search pattern of text in the file. So here's the description. You can also read this description. First of all, change the terminal to the desktop. Actually, my terminal was already a desktop. So, like we have already seen the tar command, and I want the manual of tar command saved in a file named file.txt. Here you can see all the manual of tar command is saved in a file which is named file.txt. Now I want to search some text from this file. This file is basically created in order to search some text from this file, as I already don't have any text file here which has some content in it. So now I have to search some text from this file. In the previous command, I have dumped the manual page of tar to a file.txt file. So I want to search for options, named options in this file. I want to search that the name of options or the text of options, options, really exist in this file or not. For this, I will use grep command, and then in double doors, I will type the text options, and then after that I will type the name of the file, that is file.txt. Oh yeah, you have to really careful about the space. Proper space and capital letters and lowercase letters should be there. Actually, in the previous command I have skipped the space, that's why the command was not properly run. Now you can see the name of options is highlighted in this file. Where the text options exist, all these texts were highlighted in red, you can see here. So in this way we can search different types of keys from a file, or different types of text or pattern of text from a file by using grep command. So similarly, we can use some flags along with the grep command. Like if we use the flag -i, it will make case insensitive. We want that Linux should behave case insensitive, then we can use -i flag with grep command in order to make it case insensitive, so that if I put lowercase or uppercase, it just ignore it and work on the concept behind it. So here we can see how I have searched the name or searched the keyword options from this file. Now, yeah, we can also use the grep command in searching from multiple files. Yeah, we can also use grep command in order to find special keywords from multiple files or number of files. So for this purpose, I am creating first different files which have some text in it. Like I am copying the file dot text into file 2, then I am copying this file to file dot text. I am copying the same file content into different files. Actually, I am creating the copied files of this file, manual file, which I have created already in file.txt file. So now I will search options from these different files by using grep command. So for this, I will use -n keyword, and then I am changing the pattern sections, and then after that I will write the name of the files which have these content. The name of the files here, like grep command, and after that I will write -n and then the name of the uh, keyword, and then the name of the files from which I want to search these keywords. So here I have all the file name along with the keyword, and minus n, what the key, what this flag minus n will do, that it will assign the, it will also give us the line number this keyword exists. So if you want to search the lines that doesn't match, actually grep command also works as an inverse. Like if we want to search an option and any keyword which really doesn't exist, we want to check that either this keyword exists or not. If we want that, we just want to clarify that we don't have this keyword, we should have this keyword in this file, then we can also check this by using grep command. So there are a lot of other keywords which we can use, other flags. Now we are going to learn about the shell scripting. Learn how you can read an input from a user in your terminal by using your script. If you want to allow the user to enter some name or enter some values which can be taken by your script or by your terminal. So to get the input from keyboard, we use read command. For this we use a read command. So here I am going to first creating a shell script where I will type all these commands. So for taking input from the keyboard, you use read command. You basically use the read command in order to take the input from your keyboard. Read command basically takes the input from the keyboard and assigns it to a variable. So let's see how we can use it. For example, here I want to allow the user to enter some names or some text. So I will just write, for example, first of all echo, and then I will just print some text. For example, enter the names or name, right? And then I want to allow the user to enter the name. So for that I can use a command called read. Read is basically using for this purpose. And then whatever the variable name I write after this read command, your input will be saved in this variable. Okay. So for example, I write the variable name, then your input will be saved inside this named variable. Now I want to print this variable, so I can just write echo, and then I can just write entered name, and then the variable, so use dollar symbol and then the variable name as we have seen in the last video. So let's run the script and let's see what happens. So it asks me for entering the name, and I'll enter some name, for example Max, and then press enter, and then it says entered name is Max, so which is totally fine, right? So whenever you want to take an input from the terminal, use read command. Now, for example, you want to enter multiple names or multiple variables in the same read command. For this, you can just do that. Also, so for example, I want a user to enter multiple names. So I will just edit this text to enter the names. And then instead of using one variable, I can use, for example, name one and then space name two, let me just correct name two, and then space name three, and so on, right? So like you want to use the user to input multiple variables, just write the variable and then separate it by the space, another variable separated by the space, and then another variable. And to print these names, you can just print it like you do normally. For example, names, and then first name is name 1 and then comma, for example, then once again name, and then comma, and then print them variables name 3. Okay, so let's save the code and let's run. What happens then, script once again and then enter the name. So for entering the names, for example is write Max told press enter. Here just enter the second name for I am writing Tom and then John. I entered three names here, right? And then print enter the names, and then write whatever name I have entered here, right? Now, for example, if you want to enter the input on the same line as you printed this echo string, and then how you can do this. So for example, I am going to run this example once again, and you can see it prints the string using echo, and then I can see the prompt on the next line. Now sometimes I want to do it on the same line. So for this string, right, so how I can do this? So let me first remove everything here, and let's say I want to allow the user to enter this username, right? So I can just write read, and there is a flag called minus p or p flag, which allows us to enter the input on the same prompt or line, right? So for example, I'll just write use a name here, and then I can take the user input, for example user var for user variable, right? So this will allow me to enter the input on the same line, right? To echo this, I can just write echo and then whatever the name is. So for example, I'll just write the same text here, and then the variable name, which is user var, okay? And let me run the script once again, and then it asks me the username, for example my user. The press enter, and it prints then their username. Now sometimes you also want to make this input silent, right? Silent means, for example, you want to allow the user to enter his password, and the password you can now not show, for example, right? So you don't want to show what the user is typing. Then you can use a flag called ss4 flag, right? So let me just show you what I mean. So for with this read, you just add a s flag and then a p flag, and then for example this is a password, okay? So just write password, and then just change the variable name. I am changing pass variable, and then we will uh, our password, okay? So if you want to skip this line, you don't want to show whatever the password user have entered, but this input will be silent. And let me show you what I mean by the silent input is. So let me run the script first, and then I'll just enter the username, for example my user, and then it asked me for the password. I entered the password 12345, but it doesn't show on this terminal, but it's stored in this variable, right? So whenever you press enter, you can see the password using this line of echo command, and the password is shown here, which is 12345, which I have already printed. But here I also can see that this line is printed on the same line as the password line. So to solve this problem, I can just write echo here with no string. Let me run this script first. Username, password, but it doesn't show. And the terminal, when I press enter, it shows everything. So username and password like this. Now, for example, you want to allow the user to enter multiple inputs, and you want to save those inputs inside an array. So you can do this also. For that, you have to use a flag called minus a. First of all, type echo, and then in the commas enter names, and then I can just write read and then minus a, which tells this script to read an array. Array, right? If you want to save an array, so whatever you want variable name you give right here. Example names is it will be like an array. Okay, so to print those names I can just write echo once again. So just write echo, and then for names, and then whatever names you have entered, so I can extract them like an array. So to extract the array, you can just write variable name and the index of the array. As you know that array always need an index. Zeroth index will be the first name. To print this variable, you just need to surround it by a curly bracket. So just give a curly bracket like this, and you can extract all the index like this. So next will be index 1 and index 2 and index 3 and so on. For now I just want to expect what first two elements of an array, right? So let's run the script and see what happens. I am going to give the names of Tom and Max, and now it shows us the names. So you can extract those inputs as an array also using this minus a flag. Now I just want to show you one last trick here. So for example, I just wanted the user to enter the name normally, and I will just remove these inputs like this. And for example, I just write read here with no variable here after read command. So what happens when you write read command and no variable after this? So what happens is whenever you write read and without any variable after read, the input will goes into a built-in variable called replay. So if you just write here dollar and then replay, then you will be able to see your input even without your variable name. So the default variable in which your input goes in is this replay variable, right? So let me clear the terminal first here, and now let me run the script again. So run the script. For example, I write some name here once again Max, and then press enter, and it prints the name whatever I have entered. So by default your input goes in this built-in variable called reply. So in this page you can read the variables in your script using